offseason for the Browns as they look at free agency, trying to take the step to the next level, which is always a difficult step to take from, playoff team to elite. We're going to challenge for a champion. The question is the approach to re-signing your own free agents, and Andrew Berry addressed that earlier this week.
I think I guess a couple things in that line of thinking for me. I think the first is every year really is unique and different. I think it can be easy to be lulled into the thought process. It's like, all right, we got to the divisional round this year. You just carry over the same team and just poof, you put guys together and you put one or two pieces and then, you go another round or two. And it really, at least in my experience, it has not necessarily worked that way in the NFL. Every year it's just different. The circumstances are different. Every roster has significant turnover. That's just the way of the league, and that's the way that it is in a salary cap sport with 53 guys on the roster. So I don't really go into it with the mindset of hey, we reached this point, we just need we're just one or two players away. I don't think any team is just one or two players away, quite frankly. So we'll be open-minded and we'll be adaptable and we'll be flexible with our planning. And again, our goal is to develop as deep of a roster as possible and to have as many high quality as possible. So in terms of volume, to maybe your specific question, in terms of volume, too early to say, but I wouldn't necessarily pigeonhole us in either direction.
So Dan, that's kind of the mindset the Browns are approaching this with, and it's kind of refreshing. I mean, that's, every year is different. Don't assume that because you were there before, you're going to be there again.
Right. And, in other sports, sometimes you do look at it that way, right? In the NBA, there's always sort of a clear, you take steps to get where you want to get to. But the NFL is just a different sport with the injury rate, with the schedule every year. It's just a constantly changing sport. And Andrew Berry certainly has an understanding of that. Now, I mean, the reality is the Browns are a very talented football team. And they are, even though he says they aren't one or two pieces away, if you add the right pieces in the right places, they suddenly are a team that can go and would legitimately compete with the Kansas City Chiefs or, the Buffalo Bills or whoever, the top teams in the NFL. So they're close, but you also can't just sit back and say, okay, we've got something good here. Let's go. You've got to make it better. And it sounds like that's what he really wants to focus on doing, is taking the roster they have and not just being happy with it, but making sure that you add competition and making sure that you add pieces that are going to take this roster to the next level.